It's Debatable with Mark Gray here on MLBBro.com.
All right. The Captain is coming to an end this week. The incredible ESPN documentary about former Yankee shortstop Derek Jeter. My question to you is he the greatest captain in Yankee history, ye old Met fan?
As you guys can see in my face, this topic really just soothes my soul. First of all, captains in sports are completely overrated. I just don't even get into. Does anybody who know who the captain of the Royals is? No. Does anybody care who the captain of the Royals are? Does anybody care? Like, anybody look at it? Who's the captain of the Broncos?
Not
like,
since
really?
The days of Frank White and George Brett have we seen captains for the Royals. That's bad. They're leaders of men. They bring the team together.
Listen, I'm not saying there aren't leaders of men, there aren't leaders of teams, but the whole captainship is kind of goofy to me. But anyways, on to the topic itself. Is Derek Jeter the greatest captain of all time on the Yankees? No. First of all, the Yankees have had like 40 of them, number one.
Right.
Number two, listen, there was a guy named Thurman Munson that was a captain. There was Babe Ruth that was a captain. Lou Gehrig that was a captain. I think as far as captains go, I think Thurman Munson was probably the greatest captain that the Yankees have ever had, because there was no player that encapsulated that team in that era more than Thurman Munson. You know, he was the galvanizing force behind that team. That team took after him more than any other. And
Derek Jeter wasn't for the teams of the 90s and the early 2000s. Yeah, they were bringing in It was just like when Munson and Reggie Jackson came in back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So there was always talent around Munson. He was calling games from Rod Guidry, who was at the peak of his career. So
Derek Jeter,
it's a sliding scale when you look at captainship. When you look at a guy who directs it, and back then there was no social media. There wasn't this voracious appetite and many more distractions. Come on, man. Now I'll give you Thurman Munson. But don't tell me that Derek Jeter, and unfortunately, he wasn't around long enough. Derek Jeter got 5 rings.
Yeah, but if you look at his captainship, it was from 2003 to 2014. They only won 1 World Series, as opposed to your 90s point where they won the 4. Who was the best player on those teams? You could argue that Bernie Williams was the best player on those teams. Like, come on, man. I just feel like it's
we're talking about captain, leader.
But the leader of the team, listen, Paul O'Neill was the leader of that team.
I would have to say by play, it was Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter may have learned a lot from Paul O'Neill, but trust me, man, when you're in the leadoff spot, man, you set the tone for the team offensively. And
more Derek Jeter propaganda.
You're the commander of the infield.
Listen, man, stop it.
What he did over 20 years, his entire body of work, I think he stands with no one.
Nah, man, stop it, Mark. You're not on the payroll. This is more Jeter propaganda.
Do you see the shirt that is on my chest? No, it pains me to say that. The legend began with Jeffrey Meyer. I'm doing pieces on him. Have to go relive that. That's not it at all. I'm looking at an entire body over an extended stretch of 20 years, and to me, I can't think of one that's better.
Thurman Munson and Lou Gehrig. There's 2 right there.
That's rarefied air. Lou was around for what? I think there was a stretch of 10 in a row or something. I may give you that one. But I'm rolling with Jeter because I guess I'm rolling with the new school. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, you just don't want to give in.
MLBBro.com, covering black and brown major leaguers.